Sticks, 86, hit the switch, we taking flight. Real world flows, checklist tight, cockpit glowing through the night. General aviation, props to the heavies, yeah, he flies it all legit. 10K up, boom, boom, room, chat already getting Leo sticks, 86, hit the switch, we taking flight. Real world flows, checklist tight, cockpit glowing through the night. General aviation, props to the heavies, yeah, he flies it all legit. 10K up, boom, boom, room, chat already getting. Push back on the ramp, yeah, the stream's about to roll. Flows like a pilot, but the rhythm got that soul. GA pistons humming, feel the throttle when it kicks. Then he jumps into the air, best call him Leo sticks. Biz jet sleek, 737 on the climb. Checklist reading clean, every switch is on time. IFR mine with a V and far swagger, but the landing's on deck. He don't bounce, never stagger. Yeah, Leo sticks, 86, hit the switch, we taking flight. Real world flows, checklist tight, cockpit glowing through the night. General aviation, props to the heavies, yeah, he flies it all legit. 10K up, boom, boom, room, chat already getting Leo sticks, 86, hit the switch, we taking flight. Real world flows, checklist tight, cockpit glowing through the night. General aviation, props to the heavies, yeah, he flies it all legit. 10K up, boom, boom, room, chat already getting green light in the chat, steady sipping on a yak. Trying to keep it level, but he almost spilled it in his lap. Laughing as we cross check out to meter looking right. Rock say sticks, that boom boom room hitting different tonight. Captain Will rolling in, always dropping that support. OG in the tower, giving love from every port. Community strong like a crew on a long haul. Everybody locked in when Leo makes the call. Yeah, Leo sticks, 86, hit the switch, we taking flight. Real world flows, checklist tight, cockpit glowing through the night. General aviation, props to the heavies, yeah, he flies it all legit. 10K up, boom, boom, room, chat already getting Leo sticks, 86, hit the switch, we taking flight. Real world flows, checklist tight, cockpit glowing through the night. General aviation, props to the heavies, yeah, he flies it all legit. 10K up, boom, boom, room, chat already getting peg, VF arm, Leo's dialed into the flow. Cross checking every column like it's running ATC control. FMC low decided lock, perf data tight. Flex him said he launches heavy, birth into the night. Interceptor localizer, needle split, then a line. Need a slope alive, he calls it out before the diamond shine. Windshield warning bark, but he rides it like a king. Correcting with precision, rudder inputs clean. Configure on schedule, flash notch by the book. VREF nail perfect, come and watch this approach cook. Touchdown stove stable, main gear kiss with finesse. Leo's landings hit different, auto brakes handle the rest. Yeah. Flight levels climbing, vibes aligning, turbulence ain't stopping nothing. Boom boom room, open wide, engines roaring, bases thumping. Vats some sim, skies lit, and the chat stay fly. Leo hits that autopilot, let the stream glide by. Yeah, Leo sticks, 86, hit the switch, we taking flight. Real world flows, checklist tight, cockpit glowing through the night. General aviation, props to the heavies, yeah, he flies it all legit. 10K up, boom boom room, chat already getting Leo sticks, 86, hit the switch, we taking flight. Real world flows, checklist tight, cockpit glowing through the night. General aviation, props to the heavies, yeah, he flies it all legit. 10K up, boom boom room, chat already getting lit.
No baggage, I'm boarding the plane.
Leaving everything bad in the rearview and taking whatever remains. Whatever been good for my spirit, the rest I've been setting ablaze. Burning it down to the ground, I started refreshing the page. Till I rest in the grave, I'm making a mark and etching my name. I get it, you feeling the way, but when you try throwing your shade, we throwing grenades. Growing with pain, it helped me turn into the man I became. I'm better with age, forever the era, I cherish the phase. But some things are better left back in the days. We started a wave, then parted away. A part of me feel like it's part of the game. The parties don't hit like they used to, it's cool. We did it already, it's hard to complain. I got no agendas and plans that mean more to me nowadays. It started to sway, the way that I look at the world. I'm only in places with putting my heart on display. My heart on my sleeve, the blood on the leaves. Been working to sharpen the blade. The darker the day, the brighter it is. When you find a way out the part that decayed. Dimming the light, but you gotta fight when you feel it starting to fade.
Yo, 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 yo. What's going on, family, friends, and fellow enthusiasts? It's your boy Leo. Happy Saturday, folks. Happy Saturday to you as we gear up to get started with some helo ops. Been a minute since we flown some helos, and I figured what better time than to fly it on our NASCAR Week 5 VIP transport leg. Last week they raced in Phoenix. This week, currently right now, well, not right now, Cup races tomorrow, but this week they are in the city of sin, that is Las Vegas. Short hop, be a nice little flight for a helo, nice little stretched out flight for a helo, so why not, right? This is the CowanSim's S76C Charlie plus, kind of like a civilian variant of the Sikorsky Blackhawk. It's what it was kind of built off of, is the Sikorsky Blackhawk. Pretty fast, medium lift helicopter, used in a lot of offshore operations, like crew transport, offshore oil rigs and stuff like that, VIP and stuff like that. I believe this is the type of aircraft that Kobe Bryant owned, if I'm not mistaken. But that is what we got going on. We're going VFR today. We're going to try and brush up on our VFR skills here. We sitting on the outer shelf of the Phoenix Bravo, so we should not have to speak. And of course my overlay is going to do this to me today. Oh my God. We sit, let's see. Let's go overlay data. Let's see if we can refresh the cache. And let's see, are you gonna pop up or you're still gonna do this to me? You're gonna do this to me? All right, let's restart. Hold on, you're gonna get a black screen right quick. I'm gonna restart OBS on this computer here as well. Minimize that. Alright, so let's bring OBS back up there. And let me just try and restart Fly Live. But what's going on with you guys today? We're departing GYR, which is Phoenix Goodyear Airport. And we're going over to KVGT, which is North Las Vegas. We'll make a stop there and then we'll take it and take our VIPs on over to the track. And our call sign is going to be November 821 Sierra. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I may not need, let me just change these settings here. We'll go Sim Connect. It's what we need. And let's restart it. Aviation Geeks in the house. Big up. What's going on, bro? Good to have you. Spawn and Salmon is in the house, as well as SNA Aviation. Says Helo Ops. Let's go. Yeah, you know it, bro. We fly everything. I told you we fly everything over here. GYR.
Yeah, you know I love you. I love you. I won't put no one to buy you. Cause you're loyal. And girl, you know I love you.
Come on, Leo. Type correctly, bro.
I won't put
BGT is what it should be. Alright, let's try this again. Hopefully my, what's the name, works. Oh my god, why is it not showing? Like it's showing there. I don't get it. Let's see, filters. This is irritating when stuff like this happens. How does my overlay just randomly stop from last stream? That's what I don't understand. Stupid. It is stupid. Alright, so we'll leave it like that for right now. We'll mess with it or not. But we will continue on. Alright, let's do this, gents. We'll get the cam on, we'll get the tunes down, we'll get the sounds up. So let's do this. We'll bring up and show you guys before we board the helo here. We're gonna go. It's not even letting me. There we go. Okay, charts. All right, so we're gonna pull up. Our charts here. Like I said, we're sitting on the outer shelf of Phoenix, so we can pretty much head straight out of here. One thing I wanted to note here is we're gonna be flying north. We've got our flight plan entered. As we cross over the lake here at Kids, we're gonna bail off of this at the Old Washington or Old Wash boat ramp. We're going to bail off of our route here. And what we're going to do is jump onto the helicopter VFR route here, which is the VFR Corsair's 1 arrival at 3,500. So we got to fly this at 3,500 through this corridor. And this brings us basically off of the arrival corridor for Harry Reid. And basically, Corsair's 1 takes us straight into North Las Vegas. And then we'll approach there. I don't think we have any ATC going on up there. We'll land here really quick at North Las Vegas, and then we will depart North Las Vegas on this route here. I'm not sure. We'll depart out, what is that, the Alente departure, and we'll come over this way. To the east, because the track sits right outside of Nellis Air Force Base there. So that's what we'll do. That's what the route is for today, and we'll reference this as we get closer. So yeah, without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and hanging out like hair in the biscuit as always, geek. Let's go ahead and get and board the helicopter here and get fueled up and be on our way. We are signed into VATSIM. And it does look like Albuquerque Center is still on, but yeah, we shouldn't have to speak with them at all. We'll go out VFR. All right, cool. Let's jump aboard the helo here, and we'll get our doors closed up. And what we'll do is initially we'll come here. And we'll get what we'll do here, because this adds the weight to the aircraft, is we'll get our 4 passengers put in like so, and then we'll come over here to mass and balance, and let's see, we got to put some fuel in old girl. We got almost 1,000 pounds. It says it's only going to take 260. Let's see, we'll say 500 pounds in each. And we'll do 510 in each. Just give us a little bit extra fuel. And then we'll load the aircraft with that. That gives us 1,020 pounds. Cargo, we got what, 50 there. Seats, all good. All right, so we're 9,600 pounds out of 11,700. So we're well under our gross. All right, so we are good. We'll come back and actually we can do this from the back here. I thought we could. Yeah, there we go. We'll get everything on closed up. For you guys in the back. All right, this is a very smart helicopter for it to be as old as it is. So we'll be taking note of that. All right, wind is out of our right side, so we'll be taking off into the wind here. All right, let's come down and we'll get the aircraft started first, and then we'll get the flight plan put in. That way we don't have to use ground power. So we'll come down and we'll go battery switch on. Bare minimum systems come to life. Systems kind of go through a built-in test here. We'll go master start on. Inverters, that's all good. Radio, that's all good. We'll leave the ephesus off for now. That's fine. And I think everything, make sure collective is lowered. And do we have brakes? We don't have brakes. We'll go parking brakes can be applied now. All right, gents, let's go ahead and start this old gal up. So we'll bring our fuel control switches to direct. That is good. And we're going to roll on engine number 2 first. Or first, we'll come down and get our anti-collision light on. All right, and let's roll on number 2 first. All right, I think we're in idle. Yeah, we're in idle. All right, let's roll on number 1. All right, we'll shut that window so it can get a little quieter here. We're about to bring the RPMs up so we can get the gens on. Alright. We'll come down here to our electrical panel. We'll go reset DC number 2 and number 1. AC. Master can come off. We'll go EFIS on. Inverters on. And now we have power to the aircraft. We'll go standby on U. Alright, we'll go enter. That's going to get us our alignment for our 530 here. We won't be using that though. We'll come down here. We'll accept. And that's going to get us our alignment for our FMC. We'll go, let's see, nav. GYR is where we're at. So we're going to go from KGYR, enter, and we're going to VGT. So KVGT, we pop that in. It's going to ask us to accept. We'll return. Why did it, no, let's put that back in. KGYR 2 VGT. So we're gonna go, I'm not sure why that's backing out. Let me pull up my flight plan here. DRK. From there we jump onto the Victor 562. And now you can't put that in the helicopter just by typing in Victor 562. So we're gonna have to put in our waypoints here one by one, which is fine because it's not many. APEMY. Then we go PGS, Peach Springs. From there we go Milky, MILKI. From there we're going Tenzo. Crown, or Crow, Crown, C-R-O-W-E, Crow, R-O-W-E, then Meads, M-E-A-D-S, alright, and I think around Meads, let me just look, see here. Now we got two more. All right, so Meads, Bama, B-A-M-A-A. Sept, and then L-A-P-I-N. And from here, actually, we won't put in the other waypoints because from there we're going to go and put direct KVGT. Because we'll jump on the VFR route from Lappin. Alright, so that's good. We've got that sorted. One other thing we need to do here, go fuel. We've got 4 on board, cargo of 50, and we're all set there. Alright, gents. So we'll come down, we'll go put you there. Let's see if this place has a C-tab. Yeah, 120.1. Oh damn, I didn't realize that was still up for you guys. I'm sorry. Alright, 120.1. Alright, cool. Swap you on over there. Oh wait, that ain't. Oh, that's COM 2. We needed the left radio here. So we'll bug here 120.1. Alright, cool. And in standby we will do 1228. Alright. Good. I'm trying to get this daggone thing here. That's not showing me under mode Charlie, so we'll do it over there under mode Charlie. Alright, cool. One last thing we need to check here before we go is the altimeter here in is 2981. So we'll come down and set 2981. That's set. We're going up to 7,500 feet to clear terrain. However, we cannot do that initially. Let's see what our altitude here coming out of the Bravo. So we just stay below 4,000 going straight north. So we'll come out at 2,500 initially until we get out of the Bravo, and then we'll climb on up to 7,500. So we'll set 2,500 initially. That's fine. We'll go LNAV. That's going to follow our FMS, and we'll select LNAV here. All right, good. We've got our radar altitude set to 200 feet. We're good there. We'll get the rest of our lights on, landing lights and strobes can come through the on. And looks like we are ready to go, gentlemen. All right, let's see where we're at. Alpha. All right, let's get ourselves in position to depart here. We'll go park brake off. Goodyear Phoenix traffic, helicopter November 821 Sierra Sierra. We'll be taxiing to from the FBO ramp to threshold of runway 21. We'll depart from Alpha. VFR departure to the north, Goodyear Phoenix. All right, gents, let's go. Clear right and clear left. Where is this daggone taxiway at? All right, let's get it, gents. Give it a little power. We'll just taxi out here to the taxiway so we're not blowing away people on the ramp. Let's get here on Alpha. We'll face into the wind as much as we can. Goodyear Phoenix traffic, helicopter November 821 Sierra Sierra departing, present position, taxiway Alpha, VFR departure to the north, Goodyear Phoenix. All right, gents, let's go. We've got throttles idle. We'll get our stability on, autopilot 1, autopilot 2, flight director selectors from the right side. We've got SAS enabled, and we are good to go. So we'll fly out runway heading. We'll come back around to get on our course here in a second. Let me get up my chart here before we go, because we need the US sectional. All right, let's get it, gents. We're gonna easily bring in that collective, and as we're bringing in that collective, we're gonna trim the cyclic back. You can probably see my stick coming back. I'm trimming it back a little bit. Yes, you can trim the cyclic. And we're easing in that collective. She gets light on the wheels. Bring it on in. She's wanting to fly. And there we go, gents, just like that. Hover check. We'll make sure all our instruments are stable. And looks like all of our instruments stable. Hover is stable. And let's get on out of here. And gear can come up. We'll pull some power off. Your Phoenix traffic helicopter, November 821 Sierra. Sierra is clear of 2-1, parting right crosswind to the north. Final call, Goodyear. All right, let's start getting the helicopter set up here. Now that we're on course. All right, we're gonna pitch for about 400 feet on the vertical speed. We'll get you turned on. We'll go vertical speed. Out arm and vertical speed. That'll take us up to 2,500 foot a minute. And we'll go nav mode now. The helicopter's gonna turn and pick up our lateral navigation course. Should be about an hour-and-a-half flight up to Vegas. And again, once we get clear of the Bravo here, we will climb on up. We'll be cruising up at least 7,500. But we'll probably do 8,500 because we're going more westerly. Oh yeah. Getting a little bit of turbulence here. We come over Glendale. I probably just busted Glendale's little space here. I didn't even see Glendale until just now. But we're almost out of the Bravo here. And we'll be able to climb on up. All right, this line here is the edge of the Bravo for Phoenix, this green line. So once we pass that, we can climb on up. And while we at it, we'll swap on over to Unicom. We've got our 2500. All right, we're clear of the Bravo, so we're going to bug on up to, we'll say 8,500. All right, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go out cap arm. We're going to take you off, and we're going to just pitch the helicopter up to kind of set what vertical speed we want it to climb at. Not that much, Leo. Not that much, Leo. Take off, we're fighting the autopilot. Let's take you off for a second. Let's get our speed slowed down. Alright, so we got about 800 foot a minute. Turn you back on. We're going to go vertical speed and out arm and nav. Alright, boom. That's got us climbing at about 450 foot a minute. Alright, cool. We climbing on up. Yo, what's up, Greg? Rock City's in the house. I don't know what the hell is up with my overlay, man. That pisses me off when it does that. Let's see if I can try to mess with it some more. Okay, at least we got it up now. Now we've got to figure out why. Let's go start it. And then KGYR. There we go. We got it now, gents. Captain DMV says 3 months till I see my flight sim family. I know, right, bro? I know, right? See, we're gonna try to go off on you. Let's get a little more vertical speed here. So we can get our climb up. Alright, about 1,000 foot a minute now. All right, looking good, gents. We do have some terrain that I know for a fact, like 7,000 feet, we'll have to be worrying about as we Oh no! I've gotten a few bugs in this aircraft when you change views. Or at least with chase plane, at least. We'll give her a second to settle down. When you, it happens when you go out of on that flyby when it gets too far away from you, which I don't know why, but I wish there was a way to shorten up the flyby. Too soon, still too soon. Don't do the Kobe. Still too soon, bro. Alright, but we on our way though, gents. Once we get up a little bit more, we will swap on over. So we may have to slow our speed a little bit because we're close to red line. So our torque, now that we're climbing, is going to start becoming an issue because the helicopter's got in a pretty good amount of collective to climb at 1,000 feet. But what I'm trying to do is just make sure that we clear this ridge line that's out in front of us. So as long as it doesn't stay in the red, it can bump at 101, but you just can't stay there long. So you see she's modulating the throttle, the collective. So we maintain about 1,000 foot on the vertical climb. And she's also maintaining 134 knots. Looking good. Looking good, looking good. I think I'm gonna make me a cocktail here in a second. Albuquerque Center is offline anyway, so we're good. We are free to be at the current point in time. Man said, don't do the Kobe. This is a pretty sexy helicopter. It's just one gripe that I don't like about it. Like not this particular model, but just the S76 in general. And what I don't like about it is that it's got this firewall, this wall in between you and the back. Most helicopters are open. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got the windows, you can see back there, but this wall isn't here. This makes this cockpit feels much more, you know, restricted than it is. I mean, it's a pretty big helicopter, but to have this wall here, I mean, you could have still had all of the circuit breakers and stuff here, but yeah, I don't like that wall there, man. Gives me one less out if this thing wants to go down. Gives me one less way out. Looks like we're over speeding a bit here. Yeah. All right, so we are at 8,500. So yeah, we're already at our cruise altitude. You can see we're teetering on this, teetering on the overspeed, but we got 17 knots, pretty much crosswind right now, which will eventually turn into a headwind. So we'll keep what we got. It's not keeping us in the overspeed regime, but yeah, we'll keep what we got right now. But we should be good. Helicopters flying beautifully. Got us set at 8,500 for the cruise. And we'll also sync up our heading as well. So this isn't the mountain range that I was talking about that we needed 7,500 for. I think it's still up ahead. I think it's up ahead. I don't think this is the mountain range. Yeah, no, I don't think this is it. Those crosswinds hitting us pretty good. I see the helicopter being buffeted around a little bit. Alright, let's get some tunes on for the cruise. We'll put you here. We'll go music. I think that mountain range is actually a bit further on our route, closer to Vegas. You know, I'm surprised this thing, to be a medium-sized helicopter, I'm surprised this thing doesn't have, I'm surprised it doesn't have an APU. All right, let's do this. Let's pull some power here. So we'll go off on the indicated airspeed, hold, and we'll pull the collective back a little bit. Aircraft to pitch up, and then we'll go right back on IAS hold at 131. That just keep us out of the red line there. Now we're starting to get some wind buffeting off these hills. A little bit of turbulence. Updrafts and whatnot. Alright, I'm gonna go make me a cocktail, guys. You guys have the helo. I bought this little this Mai Tai mixed drink thing I'm gonna try. Mix it with a little bit of pineapple juice. But yeah, I'm gonna try that. I'll be right back, gents. Right back. cocktail here. So we got this Ti rum mix with a dash of pineapple juice in it. Salute to all of you guys on your Saturday. Beautiful low-level flight to Vegas. I'll take it. And we got us some lo mein and vegetables, fried pork chop, and a piece of fried chicken. Man, that crosswind is trying to kick up. Look at the helicopter trying to stay on course. I don't mind the helos where you gotta hand fly it, but this is nice when you have a helo that can follow a flight plan. Look at that. And we're more into the wind now. It's gonna slow us down a bit. Yeah, I'm trying to. Geek, I asked the fellas, like, where was the route? Nobody said anything. I'm trying to. That's why I asked. Because I was gonna do a long haul stream. Little ASMR stream. But none of the boys replied. I don't think they like me anymore. Huh? Scallop?
Yeah.
What's that? You mean scallop?
Yeah.
Mm-mm. You know, I don't eat seafood like that unless it's fish or shrimp. Did mommy cook them? Scallops. Yeah, y'all can have that. And start calling Captain Will Captain No Go. What? He said he wasn't going? He wasn't doing it? Yeah, I hadn't heard anything about the long hauler this weekend. It was canceled last weekend. We didn't do it last weekend. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what they plan on doing. I mean, we could always do our own thing. I just don't have anything planned. I was gonna fly a little single engine piston or something for this flight, but once I saw how short the distance was, I was like, man, that'd be a nice little single leg helo stream. Get us a little pretty decent speed chopper. It was either gonna be either this or the high performance group H160. Which is actually faster than this, I think, but we've flown that on stream before. We flew that over in Africa for some safari ops. But I haven't streamed this since I got it over a year ago. Should be about a quarter of the way there. Los Angeles Center just got on. We will have to probably contact them. Not anytime soon, though. We are about 21 miles from entering his airspace, but again, we shouldn't have to talk with him at all. Till we get closer into closer to the Bravo airspace. So y'all have to bear with me. My VFR terminology, especially in the helo. Geek says, you like this helicopter? Yeah, it's pretty nice helo, man, I think. Went to Waffle House today and ate a Fiesta protein bowl. Waffle House Anonymous, yeah, you right. My name is Aviation Geek, and I'm a Waffle House-aholic. You keep tipping her $25 every time you go. Shoot, she ought to come home with you. At that point, it's paid for, Geek. And it's got some nice sounds to it. Thing's crabbing too. Yeah, we definitely crabbing a little bit. Weather vaning into the wind. Robin says a lot of complexity there. Talking about the Hilo. Then you'd be married to a waitress missing her front tooth. Thought they had a new sky crane out. I mean, yeah, 24 does have a sky crane. I've never flown it. I mean, it's a default. So I don't know how good it is. I don't know how good it is. I'm done, I got it. Other. How do I back out of this? What's up, buddy? No, you can't have none of that. That's dope drink. That's daddy juice. So, hey, Briar. Yo, Briar, I said get you something to drink. How do I back out of this? There we go. Yeah, we got slowed down a little bit with this daggone headwind. But we almost halfway. Making good time. We're pointed towards Vegas now. Yeah, helis are extremely complex. Cow toe showed another sky crane the other day. You mean CowanSim or cow toe? I don't know what you mean, cow toe. Chinese food, what'd you get from the Chinese place? Yeah, helicopters are complex. But once you learn to fly them effectively, I mean, unless you cut your tail off or something, you don't just fall out of the sky either. What I've always found fascinating is the ability to auto rotate down to land, and you need much less room. Oh, cow toe. Cowtown is a flight streamer. Okay. Okay, okay. Got you, geek. Looks like it's starting to flatten out for us now. I think we did pass that mountain range already. Again, I flew it the other day at 7,500. That's probably why it looked like a smaller mountain, because we went over it at 8,500 today. And we do have another range out in front of us. That could be it. That looks pretty tall. That could be it. I'm not sure. We'll see when we get there. We'll see when we get there. Fuel check. I got 370 pounds. We've used some fuel up fighting this wind. Oh, that can't be right. Well, you know what? SimBrief ain't. Doesn't know that I'm in a helo either. Tell you what, there is L37. Let me see something here. Alright, we're going to stop here at L37 and just grab some fuel, because we are 350 pounds. If we had 1,000 and something pounds, and if we used you know 600 and something pounds already, and we're not even halfway, we ain't gonna have enough. So we're gonna stop over here and get some fuel here. Yeah, we're gonna stop at North Las Vegas, and then we'll fly around the north side over to the racetrack, the Portfolio Grammetry racetrack. And we're obviously adding an emergency leg right now to stop and get some fuel. SimBrief didn't calculate that for us right. I built the profile for this thing, but it's not going to give me the accurate values because it's based on, SimBrief doesn't calculate helicopters. So you got to build a profile based off of something that flies at a similar speed, like a Cessna 172. Alright, where is this airstrip at? Is that it right there? I don't know. Alright, let's take over here. Let's find this place. Let's stop and get some, we'll cut the tunes off for now. Let's see, let's start coming on down. Try to find this, I want to say, no, I don't think that's it. L37. We'll find you. Should be off our nose just a bit here. There may be a little private strip. No, this Grand Canyon Caverns, L37. Frequency is 1228. So it's over here. We're headed directly towards it. Alright, we'll trim nose up some. Now this aircraft is extremely slippery as far as slowing down. So you kind of want to plan your approach way out. So we're looking for this airfield. We ain't but a few miles south of it. Should be right off of our nose somewhere. Maybe on the other side of this ridge line. Yeah, we'll play no games with this one. We will find this place here. And get some fuel from here. Yeah, passengers say you should have flown a jet. No, you should have just calculated your fuel better. Like, there's no way for me to calculate how much fuel I actually needed, because SimBrief doesn't do it. What it gave me was obviously for 172. Now I threw in 1,000 pounds to be sure. But, so I did this leg yesterday, and I made it with about 100 pounds of fuel left. However, it wasn't this much wind flying to this place. So we're using more fuel, stronger wind. Alright, I'm guessing that this is the little strip. Yeah, I guess so. Well, it's a little unprepared strip. They got a couple barrels of fuel there. We'll get some. We will get some. Alright, let's see. Peach Springs traffic, helicopter November 821 Sierra is about 3 miles to the south. We'll be passing overhead, checking the wind conditions, expecting full stop landing on the ramp somewhere. Peach Springs. Ain't nobody here. And I doubt they have a windsock. But we can just use what we have here. Winds are 2-3 knots off of coming in this direction. So what we'll do is start slowing down. We'll loop around and land pretty much in the direction that we are right now. This looks to be part of the airport here. Yeah, that's a taxiway. Alright, so we'll land on the ramp there. We'll loop on back. Let's get the aircraft slowed down. Let's get some altitude loss here. And we'll land there right on into the wind. Alright, let's get our nose up trim. And we'll go gear down now. And we'll come on around. Alright, we gotta watch that we don't descend too fast, because we'll get in what's called VRS, which if you're too low, it's unrecoverable. But VRS is basically the rotors descending through its own downwash, turbulent downwash, not able to generate lift. And the only way to get out of that when you find yourself in VRS is to pitch forward and gain airspeed and get out of that spot. But if you're already too low, then you have no way to pitch forward because you're gonna lose some altitude. You have no way to pitch forward. So the easiest thing is to listen to the audio cues and not descend too fast as you get under 20 knots. We came in kind of high here, so we're just going to be patient with it. Let's start settling her down just a little so we can kind of see where we're at. Remember, we are under 20 knots. We are essentially in a hover. And so we do not want to descend fast because of that VRS will come to bite us. Alright, now we know we're over the ramp here. Gonna let her settle slightly. Pulling some collective ever so slightly while we hold the hover. She's wanting to hover, she's wanting to fly. We're having to pull a lot more collective than I'd like to get her down. Let me see something here. Yeah, we're off autopilot. She's definitely not wanting to. There we go. like a cushion of air right there, for real. And we're all the way idle and she's still wanting to goddamn hover. Go down. I want you to go down. Alright, we had to kind of force that one. I don't know what was up with that. Like, I was idle. That thing should have been falling out of the sky. Alright, let's go parking brake on. And we'll go idle. We'll do a hot fuel here. Runway is part of the highway. I know, right? Alright, so let's go ahead and we're just gonna add some more here. Alright, we just took on 1,400 pounds of fuel. Now hopefully we can get the hell out of here, because the way that she didn't want to land, I mean, it was like we were sitting on a cushion of air. Alright, let's see, did that? Yes, that updated our fuel, okay. Alright, so we got some fuel. Let's, what will we direct to? In the first place, PGS. So we'll do a direct to PGS from here. Let's go direct PGS, enter. Yeah, I guess we're good. Okay, there we go. Alright. Direct PGS from here. Alright, let's try to get up out of here, shall we? Oh no, 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 no. Why? Why? Alright, hold on. Something's not right. Something's not right. Why? Alright, hold on. Get her under control there. Right pedal. But why is it doing that? We got full right pedal in there and she's still wanting to... Here, let's just see if we can just get up. Let's just get up. Yeah, something's not right. Because we've got full right pedal and it's not doing anything. Yeah, something's not right. Collector's working, but tail rotor isn't. Yeah, I've got full right pedal. I don't understand this one. Did I run into a bug? I've got full right pedal, gents. I'm afraid we may have to reset the aircraft here if we can. Yeah, let's do that. What airport were we just at? L37. Here, let's just in flight. We'll reset the No, it wasn't a cocktail. Oh, must have been the fuel cocktail. Let's see if we can reset the aircraft right here. We'll go L37 if it shows up. Hopefully it does. If not, we'll yeah, there we go. All right, so we'll come here. Yeah, there's the highway right there. All right, we'll just spawn up here. We're right where we were at. No worries at all. And we will go from here and pick up the rest of our flight plan. Luckily, like I said, we're only halfway, so it's not. We'll just consider us having had to shut down to get out fuel, but something definitely bugged out with the helo. All right, let's do this. We're gonna come here, options, boom, 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 hide you. Let's get our fuel, and then we'll start on up and get a plan, get our plan, the rest of our plan put back in. So we said what, 700 and 700. We'll load aircraft. All right. All right, let's get her powered back up. Anti-collision. Now that is one thing about this aircraft, is that it seems like I've had a couple bugs with it. That's being one of them. I don't know whether it's trim related or what, but like when I landed yesterday in North Las Vegas, it was pretty much the same concept. Like it was like it just had a hell of a lot of left pedal. And when I flew over to the track, again, I had full right pedal just to keep her going straight. So I don't know if it's something with the trim or what. And my trim reset button doesn't work. But I'm thinking that is okay, there's a trim release right there. I'm thinking that it is 100% a trim issue. Alright, let's reconnect the VATSIM. Let's make sure our collective is down. Alright, we got the helicopter powered up. Alright, we'll let that align. We'll come down here. Get the rest of our flight plan put in. So we're going from L37 enter to VGT. accept, flight plan. All right, so from here we're going to PGS. And then MILKI. Tenzo. Crow. Meads. And then Bama. And then after Bama is Lappin. From Lappin we'll be direct to North Vegas on the Cortez 1 VFR arrival. So we'll do a direct to KVGT. Okay. Wait a minute, that didn't come in. I got it there twice. I don't know why it's there twice, but okay. Alright, so we've got that LNAV, cool. Let's go 1228. Swap you over 1200. Alright, gents, we're good to go. Just like that, and we're back. Alright, let's get lights on. Stability systems. And we're good to go. Alright, let's get back in the air. We'll call it a little intermission. Let me see where I'm at here real quick. Alright, so we should be direct PGS now. Alright, let's bring her on up. Park brake off. Believe the wind was coming out of our 2 o'clock. Let's transition forward. Gear can come on up. Go 4,500. Oh no, we're already past that. So we'll go, where was we at? We'll go 8,500. Get our vertical speed set. Alright, we'll turn heading mode. Get on course. We're over speeding here. We're just trying to get our 8,500 here really quick. There we go. Speed to fall back here. Come to the left a few more degrees. Try to intercept our course here. All right, we back at it, gents. Coming through 7,000, looking for 8,500. And looking for our intercept on our course. See if she's gonna capture. Let's make sure we have it armed. We should. Yeah, nav is armed. You're gonna capture? I feel like she's not wanting to capture, and she did not. Okay, we just had to cycle it. I think she's capturing now. No, she's not, because I'm still in heading mode. Oh, that's why I flight director wrong one. There we go. On the wrong flight director, gents. Pilot error. Pilot error. Alright, 500 to go. Alright, so as we pick up PGS, we'll be back on course. We're about a little over halfway on our journey. Had to stop and get some fuel. But remember, we'll be coming in. It looks like we have ATC, so we'll try to figure out these communications. And we are in LA Center's airspace right now. But again, we don't have to necessarily talk to them until we get closer to the Bravo, which is around the Meads area. And even then, hold on, let me just take a look at this. Let me take a look at our sectional here while we cruise it on out. Let's see. About to level off at 8,500. Alright, we got out cap. We'll let the speed increase and then we'll go IES hold. Try to get about 130, 135 out of her. You can see our speed trend still accelerating. We've got 20 knots on the nose, so we're not going to get what we had earlier. Be lucky if we can make 140 knots across the ground at least. I don't think that's going to happen though. Give her a little more collective. Alright, we'll hold that. 132. That's going to be... Yep, I was going to say that's borderline red line for us. So we'll come off of that. Let's back her off just a little bit. And we're just pulling collective down here. Normally you would lose altitude when you pull collective. But since we have the helicopter's autopilot maintaining our altitude, it's just going to pitch to maintain the altitude. What happens when you pitch nose up in a chopper? You slow down. So that's what's happening right there. Alright, so we're good. We're set at 8,500 and 130 knots, which gives us 137 across the ground. There's our, we're passing over PGS now. Helicopter's going to go direct to the next waypoint. And since we now know we're good, we're back. Stable flight, we'll give you a flyby. And we will start taking a look at our airspace, Class Bravo airspace that we're coming into. So let me see here. Let me pull up charts. Okay, where are we? Still got a little bit before we get to the Class Bravo. But I'm just trying to see. Okay, so that's above 10,000, below 8, below 7,000, below 6,000. And what is this section here? Okay, below 4,500. So we need, what is this section here? Is this surface? Yes. This section here is surface. So, okay, so right before kids, let me show you guys what I'm thinking, or what I'm talking about here. Alright, so here's what I'm looking at. As we come in, I'm looking at my Class Bravo altitudes as we come in. And once we get to kids, remember we said the old wash boat ramp is going to be where we duck off into the, if we swap charts here and get on the helicopter sectional, this is where we duck off into the VFR Cortez 1 arrival route at 3500. Now I thought we could sneak through there without having to talk to center, but if we go to this next section here, this whole section here, outline here, is surface to 10,000, so we need to at least get our request in to the class Bravo before we get here, because we've got to cut across it. And you see it cuts us right on across that surface to 10,000 straight into North Las Vegas. So now on the other side, on the North Las Vegas side, 4,500, we just stayed below 4,500. I mean, we could do that coming around this way without getting into that surface, but it's longer flight. So we're just going to request transition through the class Bravo on the Cortez 1, which brings us off of the Harry Reid arrival path and ducks us over here on the helicopter VFR route. So it says VFR transition route, ATC clearance is required. See the Cortez graphic on side panel. Where is the side panel? But I do have, let me see, did I have that in here? I don't think that would be in here. Let me see, would that be under Harry Reid? Cocktail, Blade, Games. No. It won't be under Harry Reid. Well, either way, we have it. We do have it on the Heli USA sectional. And like I said, this is what we got. We got our points. Old Wash boat ramp, Lava Butte. Now I'm wondering, do we gotta call these points as we pass them? I'm not sure. We're gonna find out, because I'm in uncharted territory for this. But I do know that we're gonna take this Cortez 1 into North Las Vegas. Gate Charlie 31, what's up, bro? Says Leo, nice whirly bird, love it. Hey, appreciate you, my guy. I appreciate you 100%. A little buggy, but it is what it is. We're gonna make it to our destination. Starting to get into that Grand Canyon, this area now, gents. All right, let's get our tunes back on, since we're back on our plan here. No need to report it if it's published. Just let them know you landed. Okay, roger that. But I still gotta get the clearance through there because we gotta fly through a section of that surface to 10,000 part of the Bravo. So I'm wondering, should that be something like request transition through the class Bravo via the Cortez 1 helicopter arrival? How should we word that? I need to learn my helicopter procedures, or at least when it comes to air traffic control. I am a complete beginner. I think I've flown helos on VATSIM one time with Dre. Okay, roger that, Charlie 31. Appreciate the help, my guy. Ah, see why that is surface, why it's that weird shape. Because that surface to 10,000 also covers Edwards, which we're gonna have to request that transition again because we're going over to the racetrack after we land at North Vegas. Okay, at least the radio switches work. Yeah, roger that, Charlie 31. Requested at the outer edge. But yeah, beautiful flight thus far. I wouldn't call it uneventful after that attempted takeoff. Something was bugged with the trim, but you know what I didn't think of was this trim release button here. Now what I have set, excuse me, what I have set on my stick doesn't work. So I wonder if that button will reset the trim. I think it was a trim issue. The fact that that thing would only spin left with full right pedal. And why it's like that makes sense because, I mean, we had a pretty stiff crosswind pretty much the whole flight. So the helicopter's autopilot probably trimmed it over there. Now what was funny is that it didn't feel like that when I come off of the autopilot for the landing. It didn't feel like it was trimmed all the way over there until I went to, you know, take off. So I don't know if it's definitely something weird about it. But we'll try that trim release, so that gotta be a way. I don't think trim release is it though, man. I think trim release is where you can trim the helicopter to where your stick position currently is. So if you want to pitch 10 degrees nose down, you will hold that trim release, move your stick forward to what you want it, and then release it, and it'll stay where it's at. It'll trim the helicopter to where you have that stick. That's what I think that's for. I don't know that that's any type of trim reset. I don't know. But we didn't use any trim on takeoff. We didn't mess with the trim on this one, just to kind of try the process of elimination if we get that same issue departing North Vegas. Yeah, we gotta fly some helos on VATSIM a little more often. I'm excited to learn more about it and how to do these departures, and like I'm a little comfortable with doing them and handling them in my area, like in the Potomac approach area, because I see them and you know, around them all my life, flying up and down the Potomac. But it's still the method of communication with the controllers on VATSIM of what I'm supposed to say and when I'm supposed to say it, as far as helicopter ops is concerned. That's what I need to get. And I guess I won't get that unless I do it, right? They're a pretty nice helicopter when things aren't slightly glitchy. Look at that. All right, so at Crow, we'll need to start thinking about going down. First part of that wedding cake is below 8,000. So we'll jump on down to about 6,500. And waypoint after that, Meads. We'll tune on over to Los Angeles Center. Now, I don't know which one. We got two frequencies here. I don't know which one to freaking tune to. Oh, they're the same frequency, okay. Sometimes they're not, though. Sometimes they're not. Got 10 knots directly on the nose now. Get him in standby. 265. I just realized I don't have a dash view. Excuse me. I think I'm trying to catch a little cold. Can't have that. And where do I want this at? Yeah, I think I'm trying to catch a little cold. Alright, got our dash view. In Navigraph, select map icon, scroll down to FA, you should have, yep, that's what I got up. I've got heli charts and I'm using between heli charts and the VFR sectionals. Yeah, we went over that earlier in the stream. Thanks, Charlie 1. I said Charlie 1, Charlie 31. Yeah, we've been swapping back and forth between the helis and the US sectionals. Alright, I'm tripping, I'm late. Let's start down to 65. Alright, coming down the hill to 6,500, and let's swap on over to center here. Let's get the music paused. And 525. I don't hear anything as of yet. Oh, that's because they got off. Ha! They got off. They're not online anymore. They did not want to deal with any helicopter smoke. Okay. Either way, we'll jump back over to Unicom. That sucks. I was looking forward to trying to get a little experience here. Look at that thing just follow that course, man. Alright, let's get our speed back up. Wasn't paying attention. Alright, helicopter's going to pitch forward to give her a little bit of collective. She's going to pitch forward because she wants to maintain the 65. But we want to increase speed. Try to get about 130 indicated. Alright, next section is below 7,000, which we already are. Alright, we'll go IES hold on. $7,000 and then below 6. So our next bug down is going to be 55. And we'll do that here in a moment. As a matter of fact, we should start that now. Alright, let's pull some power. Aircraft to start coming down. Once we get about roughly the vertical speed we want, we'll engage vertical speed. We've got out arm, and as we near 55, she will capture. We'll get the speed we want and re-engage IES. Again, we're getting ready to duck off of our course because we'll be picking up the Cortez one here in a second. Just before we get to kids. After lapping, but just before we get to kids, we'll be ducking off. And we'll need to be at 3,500 for that entire leg. So as a matter of fact, let's go ahead and just bring her on down to 35. And our speed did get slow. Alright, let's come off, let's pitch forward and get our speed back. Alright, we'll take her on down to 3,500 as well. Wasn't paying attention to our speed here. Alright, looking good, gents, looking good. Altimeter is 2981. Alright, out cap. We'll go ahead and bring our speed or collective up a little bit so that we keep our speed up, and we'll IAS it at 130, 131.
Ligação feita só são mais 6 and 5 on the success.
Alright, so over to the helicopter sectional. We'll go into heading mode here, and we'll come back to the left just a little bit, and we'll navigate via our charts. 3,500 on the Cortez 1. We turned a bit early because after lapping I didn't put kids in the FMC because I knew we would be turning off. So we will get back on course here, direct to the boat wash ramp. And if I bring this up, you'll see what I'm talking about here. We didn't put any of this in the FMC. At Lappin, we go direct to VGT. But we are direct to the old wash boat ramp here as our first point on the Cortez 1. And we'll basically fly that on in to North Vegas. All right, this hill hump here is our first point. We got our 3500 looking good. And at that hill, that booby there, we will turn left. See that hill there right in front of us is what we're talking about. We'll buckle left there. Not sure of the course, but we are using our iPad to help us out. Kinda just like you would in the real world. I just wish that this route had headings for these turns. It'll make it a little more precise. But it does seem that these turns and these points do seem to be over VFR points. So the next point is over, a visual point is over a hotel on the other side of this valley here. Vegas out there in the background.
Wind shear, wind shear, wind shear.
Okay. All right, so once we make this next turn, we're gonna start
wind shear,
slowing
wind
the aircraft
shear,
down.
Wind shear.
And we can start descending from there towards the field. Because we will have the field right out in front of us.
Wind shear, wind shear, wind shear.
And let's get
wind shear, wind shear, wind shear.
257. Alright, so we got 257 is CTAF. for North Vegas. We're actually 6.5 miles out. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and come off of everything here and hand fly the rest. Autopilot is off. North Vegas traffic, Sikorsky, November 821 Sierra Sierra is 6 miles to the south and east. Correction, 5.5 miles south and east. Cortez 1 VFR arrival. Inbound for approach North Vegas. I don't know what runway we're coming in towards. 30 left. And North Vegas, we'll be approaching runway 30 left. Sikorsky 821 Sierra Sierra. Alright, I do have the field in sight. So we'll stop here in North Vegas. So here's the hotel off our left, I think, that it was talking about, VFR point. That was our turn. We turned a bit early. Alright, speed. We need to drop it. We've got the field in sight right there at our 1 o'clock. Let them rotors slice through the air as we descend too fast. North Vegas traffic, Sikorsky 821 Sierra Sierra, 2 mile final, 30 left. Vegas, North Vegas traffic. Alright, gears coming down. Not that we'll watch this one. And we're going direct to the ramp. And this helicopter is fully capable of flying the ILS approach, too. That's another thing about it. That's pretty cool. I don't have any scenery for this airport. Wind is out of our 10 o'clock. we got a little bit of ground effect. All right, gents, welcome. Welcome to North Vegas. Yes, it can fly ILS approaches spawning, RNAV approaches, it can fly everything, bro. You set it up just like anything else. So this is just a quick stop for us. We'll let a couple people out that has some business here to attend, and we'll drop the other two execs off at Las Vegas Motor Speedway a few miles from here. Alright, so we'll let out you and we'll let out you. But what we'll do is we'll also open your guys' doors, let y'all out right quick. Do the spin thing again. We about to find out. I didn't bother to trim at all on this one, so we about to find out if it does the same thing. If it does do it, then it's got to be something with the autopilot still leaving the trim in. But I mean, when we took the autopilot off, you saw the approach was just fine. Like my flight controls are just fine, so we'll see. Going to the Mustang Ranch. Ate some grilled teriyaki chicken and egg rolls. That actually sounds really good. Buttery smooth landing. Appreciate you, geek. I appreciate it, broski. Yeah, it's a nice looking helicopter, man. Yeah, let's see. Can we jump out? Yeah, we can jump out. Let's walk around with our avatar here. Hey, look at this thing. This thing's pretty nice. Alright, y'all ready? We're going over to the track now. Seatbelts on. That dude is cool. And she, I don't know what she doing, but okay. I don't think I can close them from out here though. Yeah, but nice little helicopter, man. I like this thing. All right, let's close them up. All right, we got parking brakes on. We'll come up top. And we'll slowly bring our throttles up. Hopefully she doesn't start spinning on us. Alright, we'll go and drop these guys off at the racetrack, and then we'll come back. Should we come back here and land, or should we keep her at the racetrack? What'd you guys say? Do we come back here and land, or do we keep the helo at the racetrack? That's my question to you, chat. trying to make this thing. Alright, gents, y'all ready? Come back to the airport and land? Alright, I'm with it. Literally like a 5-minute ride. This track ain't nothing special. I mean, you can tell it's Las Vegas Motor Speedway, but the photogrammetry for it is it's meh at best. It looks good from the air. Alright, good to go. We'll come on up. Parking brake can come off. Alright, we'll bring some collective in. So if she gets light, there she goes, she's light. And we're up, gents. Coming up. We'll come to the left on our little VFR departure here. And we'll follow this on around towards Edwards. Edwards is right off of our right side. Yeah, this thing's got some left pedal or something. What is the wind doing? It's pushing us. I feel like I have lack of right pedal authority. Oh snap. Food and got back on. Let me disconnect. Damn, Elliot. That man that got back on, I didn't even notice that. I'm just out here just flying around. In the Bravo, dog. Alright, track is directly off our nose. We're gonna start slowing the helicopter down. Remember, this bird is slick, man. So we gotta kind of pitch up quite a bit to start getting her to slow. We don't want to slow too much. I believe this is 15, Interstate 15, off to our left here. Alright, wind is at our tail, so we'll loop around and land in the infield garage area to land into the wind. And we'll go gear down now. Like the more I land this damn thing, the more damn right pedal we gotta put in. Man, we'll take it over to the start finish line on this horrible daggone photogrammetry. That ground effect get me every time. All right, gents. Welcome to Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Park brake can come on. We'll let our VIPs out. Yak Aviation Services. Yak Aviation Services, I like that. Yeah, they can do better with this damn photogrammetry. Alright, let's get the rest of our peoples out the back here. Hide, and hide. Let's see, do we have everybody out? No, we got one person, so that's... She needs to go. Get your ass out of here. Alright, she gone. We got rid of everybody, gents. We got rid of them all. Alright, so we're gonna head back over to, and we've been recording all of this too, so we can check out at least all three of our landings. With this one being the second one, we can check them all out. Well, but it's just one. I'm almost done. Get them off and back and take their yak. Alright, alright, let's get the throttles, the RPMs back up, and we'll get back on over to, let's see which way we gotta go out of here. I guess for real we can go the same way we come. Alright, let's do that. Alright, we'll let those come up and stabilize. Alright. We'll release the park brake. And we'll come up on collective until she gets light. Alright, there she goes. Gear can come on up. This is all the infield camping area, and there's another little racetrack embedded in here too. Now that's the camping area right there. All right, on back to North Vegas. That's our radar altimeter going off as we below 200 feet, which is what we got it set to. And again, guys, we'll get replays on all of these little landings. All right, we are 5 miles out from the field. Alright, under 100 knots. We're going to be landing straight ahead, straight in pretty much. Two and a half miles on the field. Wind is directly off our nose. So this is what we want. Walk her in nice and slow. Ooh, that one was a little hard. Let's move her up some. I will say this thing is hella challenging as soon as she gets in the ground effect. I will say that. Hella challenging. Alright, so we're not even gonna shut down because I don't know what this thing is gonna do on the replay. So we'll leave everything as is. And we will we'll run some replays from here. So let me close out my Volanta. So that's no longer tracking. It was negative 95 foot a minute. I'll take it. Alright, we'll close that out, exit that. And we'll get some tunes on. And shoot, let's watch a couple of replays of the approaches. That's what we'll do. And let's go to flight quarter. All right, cool. Let's replay it. So this is the first approach here. We'll check out and is my gear gonna come down? Don't tell me that's not synced. Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh, look, there's another chopper. Nice. That's multiplayer because I'm off of VATSIM and I don't have say intentions running. So that's multiplayer. Somebody's in the Robinson. Nice. Yeah, I do really enjoy this bird, man. It's got a few quirks, but she flies really nice. I am a huge fan of helicopters, man. Living around the DC area, you see them all the time. All the time. So the landing I really want to see is the one coming back in past the tower. That's why I flew like that. See, it's that ground effect, man. And the replay make it look like it's more twitchy than it is. All right, not bad, not bad. We'll get the departure coming out as well. Oh, I did get my doors open. Nice. Okay. And it got the throttle down. So see the wheel to the left? That's why it's wanting to turn left and right. Because it's attached to, it's like a castering nose wheel. Got to make sure that thing is straight. It should have a nose wheel lock option. Alright, let's see. I think we're getting ready to... Alright, yeah, we're coming up on departure. Yeah, see that caster and nose wheel is weird. Not a bad liftoff though. Nice stable liftoff. Give her a little spinning Rooney. Yeah, that nose wheel is weird. All right, on to Vegas. I don't know how to reset my drone camera to go. Okay, there we go. Let's go drone and then 7, so it's closer. And then speed it on up to Vegas here. There's the track there. Somebody's flying a jet. Yeah, the photogrammetry for this track absolutely sucks. Absolutely sucks, man. See, if your descent is not completely freaking smooth and steady, helicopter replays don't look as great. Because it's like you'll come down a little bit and then you'll come up a little bit. Even though in your seat it looks like you're kind of steadily descending. But it's a down and up, down and up. Sliding on over to the start-finish line. The blade tip lights, that's dope. See, that ground effect, man, is a little shaky. It's like you get in ground effect and it feels like you're just gonna sink. Like it's gonna fall out, so I'll give it a little bump in collective and that shoots you back up. It's weird. All right, let's go. Fast forward it a little bit. Not that daggone fast. All right, let's watch our departure. out of Vegas. It's a sexy little helicopter, man. I ain't gonna hold you. Here's the gear going up. Alright, let's fast forward her back to North Vegas. Tower view. Hold on, is that? Man, it looked like I came through there goddamn faster than I wanted. Tail strike. And we about to take out the sign. And we took out the sign. That daggone nose wheel is weird. Oh yeah, nice helicopter. This is the CowanSim S76C++, available for Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. Fun little bird to fly. But I'll leave you with a little bit here, man. Guys, stay tuned. We may do a long haul. I may have time to set something up, to set a stream up, like an overnight ASMR type thing. I don't have a route, so it may take me a bit. If you don't see it tonight, we'll try to do it next week. But if we don't do that tonight, then we'll try to pop out another, regular stream tomorrow. Appreciate you hanging out with us on this Saturday night, guys. Hope you enjoyed the difference in content. And with that said, enjoy your Saturday. I'll be in the Discord here for a little bit. So yeah, feel free to jump in, chit chat, hang out. Until the next one, guys, I've been your boy Leo, and I'm signing off. See ya.